Ok, está grabando. Okay. Hello, teacher. My name is Mariana Eunice Naya Muñoz, and I'm going to talk about my homework. Is linguistic. Is conceptual map, and I'm going to explain its content. And this homework is of the subject Introduction to Linguistics. Well, first, linguistics. Linguistics is the scientific study of language, in past or present, either from the current language or one that isn't language longer used. Linguistic describes it in all characteristics, its system, internal structure, social functions, and historical development. Like a science, try to answer from language. What is it? How does it work? And how is it acquired? And refer to the language. Well, there are canons of linguistics that linguists observe when studied the language. The first, exhaustiveness. Have to collect all information for a better explanation. One of the canons is consistency. Shouldn't have controversies. And the last canon is economy. It is referred to giving short but concise explanation. Well, the purpose of linguistics. It has two. Nature of language. Nature of language for know about a theory of language. And language forms. This from a general way and seeks to know how it has been organized to satisfy human needs and functions. Well, here's a difference between traditional grammar and linguistic. Now, actually, modern linguistic, it's like the script nature. It's based on describes language as it is spoken, contrary to traditional grammar. It's like more prescript nature. Was based on old grammar. It had the aim the perfection of language, writing and speaking. Well, the scope of linguistic. Now we have microlinguistic and macrolinguistics. In microlinguistic, we have phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. In phonetics, studies how the people produce the speech sounds. The phonology studies how the speech sounds function for communicate and organize. Morphology studies the form of the words. Syntax studies the structure of the sentence. Semantics studies the meaning of words. And pragmatics studies language in uses. For example, in a different context. Well, in macrolinguistics, we have social linguistics, psycholinguistics, neurolinguistics, stylistics, discourse analysis, computational linguistics, cognitive linguistics, anthropological linguistics, and applied linguistics. In social linguistics, we refer to studies the language and society, obviously, and how the people influence the use of language. Sorry. Psycholinguistic. Psycholinguistic is a mental structure for the production of the language. Neurolinguistic, a study of language processing and representation in your brain. Stylistic, see literary styles or effects styles or literary effects and its relation with the language. Discourse analysis, discourse analysis, yeah. Discourse analysis studies how the words that make up sentences have a meaningful. Computational linguistics uses algorithms with the help of a computer. Cognitive linguistics studies the language with our mind. Anthropological linguistics studies the relation between the language and a culture in a community. For example, with its traditions, its customs, and applied linguistics studies the relation to practical issues. For example, language teaching. So now we are going to language. The concept language, it has different meanings. For example, the way of speaking or writing somebody, what a person said. You have a bad language, you have a great language. Language, it's a tool for human communication, but the definition we we are going to take in this video is the definition most asset was given by Ward Dow is the language is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols used for human communication. And I mean, the language is a system. It means its elements are combined and arbitrary because there isn't a relation between the word and its meaning. Okay, the origin. The language has a history about 100,000 years. It's the first that one learns when you're a child, grows and develops in society. Well, about the language, we have theories. Three: divine origin, invention, and evolutionary. Divine origin is a gift of God to us. Other people, other person think is imitate, and other people say is evolutionary, is product of human evolution. Well, we have design feature of language. We say this. We take the definition of Charles Hockett. He said the language is arbitrary because there is no association between the sound and meaning. The language is duality. Its structure has two levels, sounds and other of meaning. The language is productive. Infinite linguistic form can be created. The language is reciprocity. Any one person can produce and receive the language. The language is displacement. Language can be used to refer things are present or not. The language is a specialization and has only one function. And the last is cultural transmission. The language is cultural transmitted. And we have functions for the language. The language is phatic. It refers to establish communion with others. The language is directive in let's say, so that others know what to do because you're talk with them. The languages is formative because to give information about something to someone else. The language is interrogative because is you can ask questions. The language is expressive refers because the language is for use to communicate my feelings and my attitudes with someone else. The language is evocative because can provoke or can create feelings in other person. And language is performative, is used to behave. Okay, and for the last, we have major concept in linguistics. First, we have script and prescript grammar. When we say the script is how the people use the language, and prescript is how the people have to use the language. So the first is how the people use the language, and the second say how the people have to. Synchronic and diachronic linguistics. Synchronic refers to the study of linguistics system and a specific moment, and diachronic is the study of language in a period of time, over a period of time. We have length and parole. The first refers to the abstract linguistic system, and the parole refers to the relation of length in actual use. We have competence and performance. Incompetence refers to the unconscious knowledge of the speaker about his language, because he knows. And performance is like more a sociological perspective. For example, it's more like to the actual use. And syntagmatic and paradigmatic. The first refers to the relationship between linguistic elements, and the second refers to a relationship with replaceable elements, and functionalism and formalism. The, the first refers to like a tool more than a system, and the formalism refers to the study of the abstract forms of language and their internal structure. Well, this is my explanation about my homework. First, linguistics, language, and major concept in linguistics. Well, see you. Bye bye, teacher.